Now it's time to talk about the absolute disgrace that is VAR, the absolute mockery to this sport that is VAR. Let's get into it. First things first. We're gonna go first one by one, right? Because I have all of them. I have all of the VAR decisions in front of me right now. I'm gonna pull them up one by one. I am absolutely disgraced. No, forget about disgrace. I think this is absolute travesty. What has happened to us? I think it's disgusting. What has happened to us? I think this is an embarrassment to the Premier League as an organization that they continuously have these refereeing mistakes. Well, I asked Terry some questions. He was vague about being beyond the half line before. I don't know what the rule is. I don't know what the rule is, Josh. Personally, I personally don't know what the rule is. If I did, I would tell you. But first, let's go to this one here. What we need to let me full screen this. Okay, no help from VAR. First of all, welcome to the people watching for the first time. If this Egal Talks Football, my name is Egal, and we currently have to talk about the win versus Bournemouth. But there were some refereeing decisions that I felt like were completely embarrassing, a travesty, and a disrespect to the sport if you're a professional and you're making these kind of mistakes. Now, Tomiyasu, in this minute, Tomiyasu was fouled. I don't care what anybody tells me. Tomiyasu was fouled. They tried to say that the ball was hit or the player, the Tomiyasu tripped. No, Tomiyasu was fouled. That penalty, Tomiyasu should have been given a penalty. That was a penalty decision for Tomiyasu. There was numerous penalty decisions that were not given. Tomiyasu got there first. VAR didn't do nothing. There was no penalty. They said there was nothing. And I honestly do believe that VAR are now just going to apologize on Monday. The PGOL are just going to apologize on Monday, and they're just going to try to keep it moving. If Bruno, I don't get it. They didn't even check. That was 100% a penalty. He kicked the back of Tomiyasu's leg. No excuses, no VAR check, no penalty, no nothing. They just kept it moving like it was anything. They just said it's whatever. This is what happens. This is what happens nowadays. Ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section, was this a penalty or was this not a penalty? But you want to know something? This was not even the most egregious one of them all. That's the crazy thing. This was not even the most egregious one of them all. The most egregious one was the handball. The handball was crazy. The handball decision was insane. I couldn't believe it. Let me show you guys the handball decision now. There was numerous handball decisions, by the way. But this is the one I'm talking about. The one in the 33rd minute. He misses the header. Fabio Vieira can't get to the ball because he hands it, right? There's two more angles. He tries to head it. It misses his head, but it hits his hand. Once again, I'll show you it again. Rewind that shit. People are trying to say it's on the line. I don't believe it's on the line. Because if you guys know the rules, this is the rules. No handball is your shoulder up. Since when is your elbow part of your shoulder? That is what I need to know. Since when is your elbow part of your shoulder? They changed the rules or something? Did they make new rules up? Are they changing rules on us? When did they change the rules? Somebody tell me, when did they change the goddamn rules? Because it don't make sense. Okay? It doesn't make sense. The handball was surely a handball. The referees don't know what they're doing. I thought that was a handball. It happened in the 33rd minute. VAR didn't even check it. No penalty for Arsenal. I was just yelling and screaming, what the hell's going on? Yes, we weren't good enough at that moment in time, but at the same point, why do we have to be yelling and screaming for these decisions? Why aren't they just being checked? This is a game that is costing people millions of dollars based on decisions that are happening. People are losing their jobs. People have families on the line. People have major things. These decisions that these referees make and cost people on a regular basis is absolutely embarrassing, because the handball rule is clear. That is the handball rule. Very, very clear. Now, you tell me, where does the ball hit? Does it hit his shoulder? People are saying it hits his shoulder. Let me give you a more clear image of this. People are saying it hits his shoulder. Let me give you a more clear image. People are trying to compare it to this situation. People have the audacity to try to compare it to this situation. This situation, it hit his chest first. Liverpool fans, it hit his chest first. It's not even comparable. It's not even comparable. But people are trying to say it hit his shoulder. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Sure, if you think it hit his shoulder, I'll give you the benefit of doubt on the first one. The Tomiyasu one, 100% should be a penalty, though. Should be a penalty. But I'll give you the benefit of doubt. Here's another one. He is in the box, right in front of goal. He puts his hands like this. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. He puts his hands like this, and he handballs it. Was this a penalty? Let me know. Let me know. Was this one also a penalty? Because when Philip, what was his name? Philip Billing, handball, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go find a better, clear image, because he also scored a goal. But the handball, I thought at least we're gonna get this one. I thought, you know what? I said, you know what? The first couple ones, they didn't do it, but hey, maybe we'll get this one. But no, Philip Billing, handball, not a problem. Billing, handball, they're like, it is what it is, no penalty. Billing, handball, not a problem. Not a problem. Another VAR check. Billing, handball. Is it a penalty? Probably not. Should we give a penalty? Maybe we should. Are we going to give a penalty? No, we're not. Why? It's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. We're not going to give a penalty. It's Arsenal. It's fine. It's fine. Let's not give them a penalty. They don't. I don't think they deserve it. That's what they did. That's what they did. So the Philip Billing one, no penalty, and they kept it moving. I thought that was another disgraceful decision right there. Now, here's another one. How do they keep getting away with it? Another situation, Odegaard takes a shot inside the box. They said, oh, it hit his elbow. It hit his elbow. Listen, I've not heard more mentions of an elbow in the game since I used to watch wrestling and somebody was doing the people's elbow. I don't know who does the people's elbow. Is it The Rock or something like that? He used to do the people's elbow. He'd go from one side to the other side and go, bam, people's elbow. That's the only time I hear about elbows in sports. But today, we had a situation where a player hit his hand, another player hit here, another player hit his elbow, and he's going like this. And we have another situation where you're kicking the player in the back of the neck, and it's like, we won the game, but it's just annoying. People saying it looks like a penalty in the picture. Obviously, people are always going to say, in pictures, it always looks like a penalty, but it is a penalty. It's just the referees are incompetent. There's nothing we can do about the referees being incompetent. They're going to continue to be incompetent. They're forever going to be incompetent. And that's just who they are. They're incompetent. People are saying there's an agenda against us. I hope there is an agenda. I genuinely believe that there isn't an agenda against us. But when I see things like today, I start to think to myself, surely there has to be an agenda. Surely there can't be an agenda. Surely this is a sport with integrity. Surely they're not going to make people drop points on purpose. Surely. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because I try to believe that there's not an agenda against us. I try to believe that there's no decisions that are going. I try to believe that there's no corruption. I genuinely try to believe that there's no corruption in sports. But this just feels like it's corruption. This just feels like corruption. This just feels like they're against us. This feels like an Arsenal agenda. It does. It feels like it. And there's nothing you can do. But in the bottom of your heart, just say to yourself, you know what? It's an honest mistake. That's all you can do. All you can do is sit back and say, you know what? It's an honest mistake. People can make mistakes. They're human beings. They can make mistakes. That's all you can say to yourself. You can genuinely just be like, you know what? These decisions happen. They're subjective. And sometimes they don't go your way. They balance themselves out. That's what you can say. But when have you seen something go our way? Maybe against Brentford, when they're saying, "Oh, Gabriel shouldn't have not been considered a foul, and he should have gone on one-on-one." But as we seen today, Ramsdale could have saved the one-on-one because he saved the one-on-one today. But yeah, let me know, guys. I think it's time to do player ratings now. I think it's time to do player ratings, and this is where I need you guys to get involved. This is where I need your expertise, people, when we're doing player ratings. Big up to every single one of you guys in the chat right now. Make sure you hit that goddamn like button, hit that goddamn subscribe button. If you've enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. And if you want to become a channel member, it only literally costs less than £1. But for now, I bid you guys adieu. If anyone wants to jump on, the link is in the chat, but I don't think a lot of people want to jump on today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a show on Monday to further discuss the performance from Arsenal and to discuss the Europa League game with a controlled panel. And yourselves a great day. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace.